Today actually there is a big problem in all over the world that uh, treating all of our waste. So most of the landfill happens and the food waste is mixing with it's into the land and it's like increases the temperature and the methane gas is going up and all. So there is a big problem with related with the climate action. So that is very important that to treat your waste responsibly. So here right, we are doing all of our waste. We are living in a community in India. There we are treating all of our waste in different methods. So this is one method. It's a mesh composter. So only our food waste and with the dry leaves which we got from this farm, and we are just composting it, and this manure we are giving back to the earth. So that way we are actually taking an action that none of our food waste is going to fill lands. So that way it makes lots of difference. This is a grey water treatment system which we designed just 1.5 years back, and this land was not fertile and it was not fit for cultivating crops. So what we decided, the entire restaurant wastewater, we are living in a community in India. It's a farming community. So an average of 50 to 60 people are using our restaurant. So all dishwash bar water, detergent water, all those chemical things were we just started using it. So the method what we have used, there are all natural methods. We have used tiles, we have used charcoals, we have used gravels to treat the water. The same time we have used certain plants which can be used in some other places. You see this, right? There are lots of banana. See, this banana is growing, and some other plants like elephant ear alocasia, canna indica. So elephant ear alocasia and canna indica is an integral role in landscaping. So once we started here, all the wastewater is sucking by elephant ear alocasia. So that's why we can able to use that plant in some other locations, and also this water is not polluting the land. Right, this in this time lots of this kind of grey water is polluting the land. So the soil is getting polluted, and the water, it is badly affects the water table as well. So this is the one solution we are doing here, and it is working, right? And one more plant which is called Clerodendron paniculatum, that is an invasive plant in Kerala. So it is another location in India. So we have brought that plant here and we have planted here. So this plant also attracts lots of butterflies, and that can be used in landscape as well. Thank you. While starting cultivating here, there were lots of challenges. One was the soil. This soil was not fertile. Right, today all conventional farming methods, lots of pesticide, lots of synthetic chemical fertilizer are using in the soil. So this is badly affecting our water table, it's badly affecting our soil. So there is a big problem. So it definitely affects our climate as well, right? So once we started doing this project, there was a intention that to not polluting any of our natural resources. So we decided not to use any synthetic fertilizer or insecticide, herbicide, weedicide. Nothing we have used, even though the land was not fertile. You see this, right? This soil, it was not fertile. There were no kind of organic matter here. But we have treated the soil with lots of methods. In our conscious food forest approach, every element we designed very consciously. So the intention was to protect our environment, not to harm any of the natural elements. You see this, right? This is just 4-year-old mango tree. We have enough fruits, almost all the trees. In this food forest, we have more than 100 plus varieties, different diversity. So we are getting good yield without harming environment. So that is the good cause we are doing for supporting our climate. I would like to tell about one fruit here. This fruit is called water apple. You see this, right? It has lots of fruits, right? So in our conscious food forest, we always think certain elements. It's not a kind of monoculture, it's a permaculture method. Even in permaculture also, we design each and every element very consciously. You see this, right? So it's a water apple, has lots of fruits. So the one challenge what we all are facing in organic farming is the crop, the yield prediction. Or sometimes, right, so we are not using any synthetic fertilizer or pesticide, so we cannot always we cannot predict the yield. Sometimes the yield will be reduced, or we will not get much yield as well. So the cost of cultivation is increases. So that way we were thinking how we can make it more sustainable. So cost of production also, it's an integral role in sustainability. So this, right, so this in the soil we are getting lots of yield because of our conscious food forest. We do different, even in our fence we will have mulch fence. That means those leaves can be used here as a mulch. And all these kind of cultivation costs comparing with our conventional farming, in this organic farming it's less. So that's why it's all because of our conscious food forest. In our conscious food forest, this tree has an important role. I hope you guys knows about it. It's moringa or drumstick. So the main purpose of this moringa is that to help the pollination. So when it starts blooming, it attracts lots of pollinators. So inside our food forest also, we consider all our natural friends, or what you call other living organisms like birds, pollinators, etc. So you can even if you want to do some honeycomb and all, we can use this flowers and we will get all those. On top of it, we have some more use of this tree. So we will use their leaf. So now you see this, right? It has lots of drumsticks. So after yielding these drumsticks, again all these seeds we will use for next cultivation. Whenever we are designing some other food forest, we will use these seeds. So then there is no cost. Again, the sustainability terms, right? So that matches with our this concept. It has lots of seeds. So we just need to sow this and we will get a new things. And other than that, we will use all the leaves. You see this, right? So this leaf, after fruiting, we will just chop it and we will give to other plants. So that helps the growth of the other plants. So with the help of these pollinators, it gives yield for other crops, as well the leaves will be used for the mulch. So that way you can enrich your soil. So that way you don't need to put any other chemical stuff. So it grows nicely and it protects the soil and environment. This is a 3-year lemon tree. So lemon tree has always a problem with lots of pest attacks. Pest, actually the caterpillars comes and it is a host plant for butterflies. But all the people, what it will happen when you plant a lemon tree, they will start eating their leaves, and people think that the plant will die. While we starting this plantation, we also thought the same thing, but we haven't used any insecticide or pesticide to kill them. But what we did, actually, we just focused on their plant immunity. We have done lots of mulch, we have done lots of organic matters to this plant, and it has survived. And this way it's not like, you see this, right? We have lots of fruit, and it's a good yield actually from this lemon. And it is actually, even if you are doing a conventional farming, you will also get the same yield. I would say we have more than that. So that way this ecosystem will be balanced. So again, this will not affect the soil and environment. As I said, conscious food forest, every element has an important role. This is our biofence. So in this biofence, we are using live plants. You know this, right? This is called Mexican sunflower. Some people say that is an invasive. That is correct only. But if you are properly maintain it, if you are using chop and drop methods in your food forest, he has a good role. What we do, we will plant the one boundary is completely with Mexican sunflower, Gliricidia, Sesbania grandiflora, Moringa. So all these elements, every 10-15 days we will cut and we will drop to the plant. So that way it improves the soil quality. You see this right now. It's very it compost very fastly. So Mexican, but only thing we will consider that we will not allow to mature. From the tender stage itself, we will cut and do the it will drop to the plants. And one more thing we have. This tree is called Gliricidia. So this also helps to nitrogen fixation for the soil. So again the same things, when every 10-15 days we will cut and drop to the soil. So this way we are actually protecting our environment, and there will be no other pollution issue for our environment. So there will be no issues. This is a dense forest. This happened in 4 years time. You just see, right, in this climate it's a very dry and there is no much rain. So I was thinking that to actually reduce the temperature, the way how we can take a call on the climate action here, how we can reduce, right, the temperature here. So that was the one thing what I thought, to do more plantation. But again, doing a mass plantation, that is very important to make it more sustainable. So the cost is very important here. So we were thinking like what to do. Then I had an idea that time. In Kerala, in India, we are in Tamil Nadu. So from other state in Kerala, there are lots of jackfruits are getting wasted in every year. Tons of jackfruits are getting wasted in every year. So I thought like maybe now people are started selling their jackfruit in some other location, but again there are seeds are getting wasted. So in the monsoon season, the fruit will fall in the ground and the seeds getting wasted. Then I thought jackfruit has a good quality that retain the water and it gives a good yield as well. So in this region, in this terrain, that will have an important role to even protect the soil, to get more rains, to reduce the temperature. Then we started collecting lakhs of seeds from Kerala and we started planting it. So that is also dense plantation in a kind of different approaches, Miyawaki approaches and all we thought. But again, we designed, it's a sustainable way. That means it's not just about making greenery. The same time, it will help other birds or other environment or even humans. So these kind of fruit plants, if I'm including in the dense forest, that will help us to get the yield as well. Also, every layer in our dense forest, we were focusing it. You see this right now. This is a yam. This is yam. It's a purple yam. So these seeds are very much available in Kerala. So what we thought, like once it's grown the dense forest, after some couple of years you cannot grow any other crops because of the sunlight. But this guy can easily grow and this will climb on the tree we planted. And every year you can easily get the tubers from this. So that way we are conserving that tuber as well here. So there is no kind of special care required for this guy. So that way now after 4 years this ecosystem is created. Lots of butterflies, birds will migrate here. The same time, if the people wants to harvest the yam, they can harvest from this. So that is the conscious dense forest. In our conscious food forest, one side of the food forest, we always recommend bamboo. So bamboo has lots of importance, especially in the climate action. It prevents soil erosion, as well it harvests lots of water. So the ground table for the water will increase the depth of the water, and it will retain lots of water. It will retain the moisture of the soil. So and it gives lots of good oxygen. That is very much important in this modern world. When we grow our conscious food forest, right, everyone will have one issue with that, not only the pest, right? So once the fruit started yielding it, lots of birds comes and eat it. But we are designing in such a way that let them also come and eat whatever they want, because that is the balancing the ecosystem. We were pretty sure that if you are handling properly, if you are consciously handling, so those birds will be your friend, not your enemy actually. So that way, this tree, you see this is a mulberry. So this mulberry is very tasty one. It's very sweet and the birds likes it. So we hardly harvest from this tree. So we will allow the birds comes and eat it actually. Like that, also the rotten fruits or the damaged fruit, we will not get in the soil. Some of the fruits we will keep it wherever it is possible, so the birds can come and eat as well. So that is the balancing in our conscious. In conscious food forest, one important thing is that about is observation. How you observe your nature, the environment. So when we started farming here, right, this land was very barren and there were no land was not much fertile. But we haven't used any other things, and we started seeing lots of other living organisms started migrating here. One is this guy, it's a millipede, and you see this, right? So they are eating the rotten mangoes. So this will be, once they started eating it, right, there is no other worms comes and it will not attack the birds, no, to the mangoes. So we decided to keep the millipedes as it is. When they started eating mangoes, we will not take that mangoes, or we will move this into our compost and with this millipedes, so they will come and eat it and the poop can be used as a compost. We have experimented one saplings in two different poly bags. One we tried with their poop, their millipede compost, and one with the normal compost. We have observed there is around 30 to 40% of plant growth which we have seen in from this compost. So their movement is very important for the soil. In our land, lots of millipedes started migrating it. That is helps the soil aeration. So that's where the crop yield gives more. So every element has an important role in our conscious food forest. So one thing that we observed from our this terrain, there were lots of millipedes are migrating and they started eating rotten fruits and other things. So we just kept all these rotten mangoes and other things inside our compost bin, and we kept as it is open for some days. Then millipedes are started coming and they started eating very fastly the mangoes. So this avoids the flies which spreads in the mango orchard. The same time we will get a very good compost. Now you see this, right? So all the compost is coming up and the decomposition rate is very fast. They are eating very fastly. Their pupa is coming up here. So this will mix up with our dry leaves and this will act as a very good compost for the food forest. So instead of the chemical stuff, we can use this compost for our plants. Again about observation, he is Crotalaria pallida. In this flower, what we observed, in this flower attracts lots of stingless bees. So in our conscious food forest, biofence one side is butterfly and bee zones. There we will do some plants which attracts these pollinators. The same time, some weeds or some species which is there in this locality, we will observe it. Like that, one plant which is observed is that this guy. He is Crotalaria pallida, and there are some other plants also like this. So while cleaning that, while removing any other weeds from here, right, unwanted weeds or something, so we will not allow this guy to move from this. So this is a natively grown here and we will keep as it is. Then the bees comes and it will help other crops as well. That is about conscious food forest. In our conscious food forest, as I said earlier, there is an important role in even fence as well. One side we will keep for bees and pollinators and birds. So you see this, right? This is hibiscus. This attracts lots of bees and butterflies. So this way, one side we will keep this one, and other side we will keep the plant which can be used for the mulch. Some plants we will keep for bees. This is one Cisalpinia. This flower attracts lots of stingless bees. Like that Jatropha, that also attracts lots of stingless bees. So one fence you will get a beautiful fence, as well you will get lots of bees which helps the pollination.